Yeah!
God be with you. Do you need anything?
Would you teach me something about medicinal herbs?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention. God.
I've come from the priest. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
Don't you know that witches get burned alive?
There's no need for trouble. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs. Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end, I let them talk me into it.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see, a place of wonder and terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their sabbaths on broomsticks.
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead and ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
Yeah, I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard their plea.
Their plea or the clink of their coin? And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you know what they do to witches?
They burn them alive.
That they do. So don't be surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will I don't...
So all this talk...
The ointment...
I want to know something... I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend, and watch over them to keep them safe.
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me to.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women. Take care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is someone there?
I heard something about a magic ointment that you got from the herb woman.
You heard that where? And what business is it of yours?
The herb woman sent me.
Gertrude? What does she want? Haven't we paid her enough?
That's not the point. The ointment's dangerous, and the herb woman doesn't want you getting up to anything foolish.
Thanks for the concern, but we're grown women. We're old enough to make our own choices, and what we do in the woods at night is no one's business but ours. What's that?
Lost something here. Something you're looking for here?
From over here. What in a...
What's the matter with you?
Hey, who's there? Mother of God! What the hell was that?
Hey!
I've heard something about a magical ointment.
Really? I'd like to know where from.
The priest is worried.
The priest? It's nice to find out what telltale...
It could be dangerous. Not just for your soul. That shit is poisonous.
So I'm supposed to believe the herb woman slipped us poison instead of the ointment?
What? Show yourself.
She warned you it was dangerous, and now she regrets selling it to you. She's afraid you'll hurt yourselves.
She said that? But I can't believe it's all that serious. If she's really worried, tell her to come with us to the crossroads at night. But not a word to anyone else.
Could I help?
Yeah.
We're here. We all know what to do, don't we?
I'm not altogether sure. Gertrude didn't want to say anything about that. So all we know is what we came up with ourselves. Damn. I feel all peculiar, though.
The ointment is the main thing, and we'll think up some chant or two.
Just let's get it over with, quick. I keep hearing weird noises.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? When the hurly-burly's done? When? Damn it!
The battle's lost and won. What's that nonsense you bubbling?
I didn't make it up. It came out of me all by itself.
My vision's blacking out, and I feel the earth moving. Maybe this wasn't a good idea.
We're not doing it for our sake. Our intentions are pure. There's nothing to worry about.
Silence! Hush now, do you hear that? As if someone was singing.
That'll be the tree roots. The earth speaks to us. Like Gertrude said. Why is it getting so dark?
It's singing very loud. Make them stop. At least for a while, please. My head hurts.
Don't be scared. Let it happen. Lucifer, star of the morning, we're here to ask you a boon.
What is it? Hail Mary, pray for us. I feel the devil is coming.
I'll go toward him. Show him the way to find us.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death.
What are you praying to the Virgin Mary? You'll scare the devil away.
Stop praying and speaking of death. We are here to save lives since we've lost our own. Satan, appear and send pestilence on all the humans. I'm coming to meet you. Lord of darkness, we are here. Come unto us.
I hear someone coming. Who's there? Is it you, Kuta?
No, I'm still over here.
What's going on here?
Welcome, Prince of Darkness. And make yourself at home.
What would you like us to do? We will fulfill your every wish if you fulfill ours.
Prince of Darkness? What in God's name are you babbling about?
Why are you testing us?
Testing you? Jesus Christ, what have you been smearing on yourselves?
A magic ointment from the herb woman? We are ready to pleasure you, Lord. In return, all we ask is that you rid us of the humans. And if you won't rid us of them, then help us get away from here. Give us riches, so we can start a new life in the city.
I'll give you anything you ask.
I knew it. Thank you, my lord.
In return, you'll have to... Shit. I feel very weird.
Oh, that ointment. You smeared the ointment on me.
Fear not, my lord. Nothing will happen to you. It's all part of the ceremony.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? What did you do to me?
Are you quite well after your long journey?
Huh? Long journey? What?
From the gates of hell to here. When will you take care of the humans? And why don't you have horns and hooves and a goat's tail, like the priest said?
How come you're a talking mare?
mare? Does your sight deceive you? I'm Vera.
I flew in on a...
Flying on a branch? Will you teach?
I got rid of my horns and hooves along the way, and I keep my...
I hope that. What's that, oh Lord?
Will you serve me, and do all I tell you to?
Oh yes, our Lord of Hellfire. We'll do whatever you want. Just rid of...
Me! Take me!
No, me.
And what about the other one? Why doesn't she speak up?
Kuta, you chicken! Speak up!
I want you, Mare. Vera.
I knew it. Come on. Come closer to me.
That was tough. Oh, but I'm all dizzy again.
What is wrong with you? Is something going to come of it or not?
I need to sleep.
Bugger sleep! What was that? What is it? Someone coming!
Bring it on! Bollocks!
Get back!
Fuck happened here? Shit! Oh my god. These are no demons, just flesh and blood woodcutters. I'll never be able to explain this to anyone. That fucking ointment. Damn that old hag. Now what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel quite hungry.
I found out more about the Egypt witchcraft.
Pray, do tell.
The women have got hold of some magic lotion from the herbwoman, and they're using it to summon the devil.
For the love of heaven.
I followed them to where they held their Sabbath. They summoned the devil, danced around a fire.
Oh my God, what else?
The women were completely out of their minds from that ointment. Then some woodcutters stormed in. They wanted to put a stop to the witch's Sabbath.
Good God. And what happened?
I had to kill the woodcutters to save those women from them.
For Christ's sake! How could you? Such needless slaughter! Those men meant well. Was there no other way to stop the bloodshed?
The woodcutters were beside themselves with rage, baying for the women's blood. There was no reasoning with them.
There must have been another way.
I did everything I could.
The good Lord observes your deeds. Pray for the souls of those unfortunate Christians. Pray, because you have blood on your hands. At least you see where dancing with the devil can take you. Pray for their loved ones and for your soul and mine, because we share the blame. And now please, go. Leave me alone to pray. Farewell.
go. We've only just arrived. Jesus, what have you been up to?
Are you happy here?
It's not worth a damn. If I had any choice, you wouldn't see my heels for dust.
Well, what's happened? Did you two get yourselves into trouble?
A fine friend you are, assuming it's our own bloody fault.
Oh, come on. You know what you two are like. I had to ask.
Well, perhaps with that monk. But now, the foreman's got it in for us. If he could, he'd skin us alive.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and...
And the miller won't stick up for you? I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand, and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working in a mill, but not with him around. It's unbearable, and there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because...
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind. I'd like you to teach me how to be better at stealth.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll...
Maybe another time.
See you later.
And hurry up. I have no patience for beggars.
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
It's good they have someone to look out for them.
Farewell.
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
Matthew told me your foreman's a fool, and you're not exactly filled with Christian love for him.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day in. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, We're fighting, and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see. Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful as well?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. And what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew gonna see her. But Thomas is the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a peacock. I really don't think she's the problem.
And what do you want to do about it?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's...
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence.
I'll think about it.
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
If you say so.
Take care.
I heard you're as bad-tempered as a rabid dog, and twice as stupid.
What?
I heard you treat the new workers like shit and don't listen to anyone except yourself.
It's their fault. They're good-for-nothing slackers, and you watch your tongue or you'll get it in the mouth, too.
Well, they weren't lying. Your old talk. Do you really want to try your luck?
One more word, and you'll see.
We need to pick a place for the fight that isn't too public.
That's one thing we can agree about.
You have any idea where we could do it?
There's a place to the north of Ledechko we can go to after sunset.
Good. Above Ledechko, then.
Fine. And who will I be giving a pasting to?
Take your pick. There'll be 3 of us, and you can bring 2 of your friends as well. So there'll be more than enough to go around.
Why not? Do we have a deal then? No trying to get out of it later on.
Agreed.
Farewell.
Hey, how'd you...
I did it. I arranged to fight him just like you wanted. He had nothing against the idea. He'll bring 2 men, and the 3 of them will...
I wasn't expecting...
So, how are we going to do it? Should we just meet there?
No. Come and see me towards evening, and then we'll go. Oh, and perhaps you should let Matthew know. See you later.
Jesus, what are you...
Well, I spoke with him.
How did it go? Did you come to an agreement?
No. There's no talking to him.
What will we do now? I suppose we could just leave, but I don't want to as long as there's some coin to be earned here.
Don't go running off just yet. Fritz and I have come up with a plan.
Shit. You want to trounce him, don't you?
We've arranged a fight to decide things. If we win, he'll leave you alone. If we lose, you'll be on your way.
Sakra! Well, I suppose we've got no other choice. There's no talking to that man.
It will be us three against them three. That's an honourable fight.
If you say so. God be with you.
Hey!
All right, I'm here. Let's do it.
It's still too early.
See you later.
Fresh bread, come and get it.
God be with you, Henry.
Get a move on, because you stink like...
Are you happy?
They're good carpenters, but some...
Really?
Yes, yes. When I'm there with them, everything goes...
I've heard.
I don't know what I'd do without Thomas. He keeps an eye on everything for me now.
Yeah, but Thomas has problems with carpentry.
You're right. You should hear him cursing when he has to...
Well, just because of that?
No. He's not too skilled at handling the water wheel and the mill run either. He can wield a shovel well enough, but otherwise
So he's not been foreman too long then?
No. My son used to run the mill, but then his wagon overturned with him.
I'm sorry.
Me too, boy. And after Martin was gone, the other workers left and only Thomas stayed.
What happened that day?
He was transporting new stone blocks for the mill and he had to take a detour. It was after a downpour. The load must have slipped and the whole wagon fell on him.
So he was alone, with no one to help him?
Of course not. Thomas was there too. He helped Martin to load the wagon in Sasau, and both of them set off back.
Just the two of them? No one else was there?
No, they always did it that way. Martin didn't like dragging people where it wasn't necessary. But if I had been there with them, maybe he'd still be alive. Thomas couldn't pull...
I'm sorry. But I'm sure he's in God's kingdom now.
He was a good boy.
Have you been without carpenters for a while?
A long time. Since winter, it's been just me and Thomas.
Nobody stays around?